Hey, Ruda Wings community, let's talk cold hard facts about what is going on at the San Diego, California southern border between Mexico and America. So let's talk about some numbers that the mainstream media hasn't been telling you. Since October in San Diego, California, we have brought in 130,000 illegal foreigners. That's only including and counting the foreigners that actually present themselves so that they can get a check mark and we count them. Not included in that number, and I'm going to use all quotes, are families, vulnerables, LGBTQ+, gotaways, and the beach crashers. Some estimate that above the 130,000, we have seen probably 60 to 80% more that are included in those other counts. We're currently sitting at a steady rate of bringing in 1,000 predominantly military-aged single men daily through San Diego, California, so that you can rightly understand what a significant increase this is in just the overall number that we are seeing come through our border out here in San Diego, California. Back in November, we were averaging about 100 to 200 illegal foreigners daily. Then in November, December, we saw a jump up to about 500 to 700 on average daily. This past week, we have consistently been ranking as the top sector in the nation, bringing in on average 1,000 daily through our San Diego, California border. This is a massive escalating national security threat that has widely gone unnoticed by the mainstream media. And it's why I am sounding the alarm, because this is going to grow to a point where we will no longer be able to correct the damage that has been set into motion because of the policies that are in place out here in California. So for those of you who don't know, California is a sanctuary state. As soon as these guys get through our border, they get a free ride to wherever they want. You hear politicians talk about ghost guns. Essentially, what we do in California is we allow these guys to come through our border and they become the equivalent of ghost illegal foreigners. They are untraceable. We don't know who they really are. We don't know where they are going. We don't trace their whereabouts. They're given a ticket to show up in court in a few years. And until that point, they can roam freely throughout the nation, and they aren't staying in California. We are seeing them at the San Diego International Airport ship out. They don't have to have an ID to ship out from San Diego, and we don't know where they're going nor why they're here. 1,000 a day. The border is far less secure under Biden than it ever was under Trump. And I'm going to give you some numbers for you to remember, because this is crucial when you hear people suggest that it was at all remotely the same. Trump's worst year was in 2019 when we saw about 858,000 illegal foreigners come through. Biden just hit close to 2.5 million illegal foreigners just in 2023. In 2022, he brought in 2.4 million illegal foreigners. In 2021, he brought in 1.7 million foreigners. And just the gotaways that we can guesstimate under Biden, and this is all CBP data, the gotaways under Biden are currently around 1.8 million. This is an escalating national security crisis, the likes of which we have never seen before in this country. So what can be done about it? Well, Biden can end catch and release yesterday. That would be a great start. Newsom can start saying that we have a huge crisis on our hands in California and ask to bring in the National Guard. Those are two viable options that most likely won't happen, because policies over people when it comes to the Democrat Party. In the midst of all this chaotic reality, what can you do? The most important thing is that you understand the times in which you live and that you realize that the government is not coming to save you. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing is to get your house in order. Make sure that you're able to defend yourself from whatever is coming and that you're not anticipating that someone somewhere is going to show up to save you. You can also start to get real familiar with your local sheriffs and your county officials and let them know that this is an unprecedented national security threat and you're wondering what they are doing to protect citizens. So if you talk to your local officials, you talk to your sheriff and they say they're just following orders and their hands are tied, I want you to ask them, At what point does following unconstitutional orders and unconstitutional leaders become in itself unconstitutional and complicit in the whole problem that we find ourselves in? If they are a piece of the machine, then they are complicit in the damage done by the machine. So I want you to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Start to talk to your local officials, including your sheriff, and ask them at what point will they push back against what we are seeing happen in real time, which is an absolute invasion of our country through our southern border, the likes of which we have never seen before. Feel free to pull any of the data in this video, share it, and get comfortable being uncomfortable.